at least on a certain level, Bay knows he's rubbish. Bay doesn't think he's an artist. Bay knows he's a moneymaker. Mm-hmm. He's just there to make the producers happy.
But again, see, that's the problem with Shyamalan. Is like
Shyamalan thinks he's a genius.
No. But see, no, the problem with Shyamalan is that. I think the way we say, like, I mean, Sixth Sense is the highest horror film.
Highest grossing.
Yeah. Highest grossing like horror like suspense film like of all time. You know, and that's why I remember like that. The film made a lot of money, and it was like,
and it was a good film.
Yeah, like it was good. Like Unbreakable was a very very good film, but I think the key thing is that Sixth Sense was such a crazy thing of like how a film like that could make like blockbuster money, is that Shyamalan still believes in himself that he's still amazing, and he's been trying to relive the past glories like of Sixth Sense. Like, that's why I was surprised that there was actually a twist to this film.
Yeah, because that would have at least added something.
You know,
I mean, just put in a little twist at the end that actually
Shyamalan is actually the last.
Shyamalan. I wouldn't be. And if anyone's seen Lady in the Water, you wouldn't actually be surprised if Shyamalan again cast himself as the savior of mankind. I mean, I'm just thinking, like, there's still so much stuff to talk to. Like,
I think again, another very important point is that
even so much stuff to say.
Even looking at this flick, I'm looking at this was a really, really missed opportunity, because I'm looking at like that's why I'm looking at the firebenders, the waterbenders, just the basic story. Forget about Shyamalan; he didn't do anything. Like on the very basic level, these are from the creators. There's a lot of very interesting stuff here, which could make an amazing franchise. And if this thing was made well, of course this thing Star Wars is great.
Yeah.
But this thing can still step up to something like a Star Wars or a Lord of the Rings if it was made well. Because like
would be now, and again, also just adding to that quickly on the race issue, it would be the perfect platform to let's see some Asian stars now. Let's see some guys who aren't the usual kind of thing that we always see from Hollywood. It would be the perfect it's such a perfect platform. The entire setting is based off Asian mythology and Asian settings, like Far East.
The key thing is that audiences will come in, because once you say that this is
no one's gonna say, who wants to see these Asian
because
guys?
once it's like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. A lot of guys went to go and see that film. You know, it's like once you're saying, okay, this thing is Last Airbender, it's a Chinese-based thing, it's an Asian-based thing. You're going to get to the support of the ethnic minorities. Facts. Asians will watch the film. Blacks will watch the film. Hispanics will watch the film. Facts. And a lot of whites will watch the film if it's good. If the film is good,
if it's good, people will watch it.
They won't just not watch it. If it's good, like a guy won't, especially in today's day and age where so much stuff is bad, a guy wants to go and watch something that's good. Okay, they want to be prejudiced against, oh no, they're all Asian, I'm not going to watch it. No, you know, because
and the fact that Shyamalan himself is Asian from India, that's even more baffling. It's like, what? Surely you would sympathize with that. Surely you would.
Shyamalan has proven that, you know, this guy, like, you're one of the biggest idiots out there. Like, if I was Indian, if I was Asian, I would disown this guy. I would like, what you've done is the most bamboozled, messed up thing that I could think. Like, you are Asian, you're Indian, you're not white. Okay, by no stretch of the imagination, I know what you look like. You're an Indian guy, and you had this franchise on your hands, and you had the ability to put in guys of your own people in the film. You had the chance of bringing in Asia, guys from your continent, from your era, into this film. You know? But instead, you took the other route.
Cast a few Indian guys as the bad guys.
The bad guys. Because, see, Shyamalan will like to say, oh, you know, Zuko is not really the bad guy, he becomes good in the end. No,
in that film, he's the bad guy.
like in this film, like, the Firebenders are bad.
In the series, it's not like that. In the series, you could say, okay, they're not really that, you know, they're just the antagonists, but they're not bad. In this, he's bad. He's pretty bad.
But again, the key thing is that you're seeing a film where, like, again, characters which are not whites are being portrayed by whites. You know, it's like the fact that, like, again, it goes back to respect of the source material, and it goes back to taking a choice. Because for me, that's for me. Like, again, this is the point that I'll make. For me, as an outsider looking at this film, Ang looks white. Like for me, he looks
the series.
Yeah, in the series. Like, no, sorry, looking at the series from an outsider's point of view, Aang looks white, and there's been a lot of debates about okay, like anime guys and how anime is being drawn. It's very narrow-minded to think that anime guys are supposed to be white because that is how Japanese guys draw them. Look, I'm just calling it as I see it. Aang looks white from what I see, but you have a choice.
I mean, I think because it's debatable. Like you could say, I could see that you could say, okay, he looks white, but it's still up in the air. You couldn't say this guy's definitely, I mean, his hair is black. You could argue, okay, he looks a bit, okay, his skin is pale, but he could be, he could very easily be Chinese or so from another Far Eastern place.
Yeah, no, but you also look at where it's set.
Yeah, look at where it's set. Look at where these guys are living.
And also you look
it's just basic logic.
You look at the Sokka and the Katara guys. It is almost as they're all part of. See, that's why Shyamalan, you can't be a hypocrite. Okay, then they're both whites. Make all of the Water Tribe whites. Why do they have to be Asian? Because again, if the tribe guys are all Asian looking, therefore Sokka and Katara have to be Asian as well. Or if they're white, then therefore the whole tribe guys have to be white.
And you can't use the colorblind issue because if this thing has to have rules, just basic fundamental rules. It's that a tribal society that lives in the middle of nowhere does not racially intermingle with people from the other side of the world.
Like they should all look the same. That's the fact that should all look the same. I mean, like. I'm not sure how long have we been going on this thing.
But the thing is, there's so much more to say.
No.
There is so much to talk about with this
basically,
shit. Look, wait. Do you remember the bit when Zuko captures Aang and Aang escapes from him and he knocks him out somehow? I can't even remember how. And then just says, "We could be friends,
Oh yeah,
and leave.
Yeah.
It's like how if you haven't watched the series and know that